I wanted to give you a refresher on how to find access to information so that you always feel like you can access things when you want to. So this group is always here for you to be able to bounce ideas off and to ask questions. And I love that there's so many of you in the Q&A group who are just there, asking stuff. So it's not to say you can't ask questions, but what I want to give you is the freedom to be able to know where to find things when someone isn't available to answer. So please know that, as I said, it's just an extra resource for you to understand where to find things. So because you are all through us a part of these Saula Chamberlain's larger community, we have access to all of the member resources. That is a conglomeration of all of our work and our specialties over the last multiple years. So if you don't know how to access her website, I'm thinking of a couple of people that I need to give access to. Please make sure to reach out to us and we'll help you. She's also just moved to a new website. So if you're looking for Star Anise, you won't find that. We now need to go to saulachamberlain.com, and she's continuing, that's not a word, but anyway, to move things. So if you're not sure where to find them, let us know. But there we have all of the members' resources, and there is also a list of some of the other things that you can use. So if you don't have access to the actual books, you can probably see the stack of them over there, but the desk reference guides, then there's also a Kindle version of the desk reference guide. But one of the things that I find handiest is an app. It is called the Ref Essential Oil app, and I'm going to put the link in here for you. And what it has is it's delightfully non-compliant. So it talks about all of the things that we can do with the oils. And I wish I knew how to like screen share it with you. But essentially, you look up the oil or you look up a ailment, and it gives you a summary of which oil to grab. So if you have, and it usually has like links to other oils that you could use for a similar condition. So it is a really fantastic resource. So for instance, if you are looking on your shelf and you've got like geranium oil and you're like, what am I doing with that? Or maybe it's one that's sitting in your drawer that you haven't used. And you're like, I don't really know what to do with that. Or maybe it came in your freebies with your monthly order. So you can look it up and then work out how to use it. I love to do that. I'm going to grab my phone here 1 second and then show you. I do want to show you because I think it's really helpful. So if I go to the reference guide, there are a few different apps, but this one I like the best. So if I go to, there is oils, and there is basically a list of all of the oils. Some of them are ones that are available in America, not available here. But for instance, let's go to ginger, because ginger doesn't get used as often as it should. Now, I hate the taste of ginger, by the way. I think the oil I love fresh ginger. I don't like the taste of this oil. Some people do. But if we have a look at it, you can see up here, it has the chemical constituents. That may not be super helpful for you because unless you are, studying the the pharmacology of essential oils, it won't help you. But here, common primary uses. So ginger is useful for angina, diarrhea, gas, flatulence, indigestion, morning sickness, motion sickness, nausea, rheumatic fever, scurvy, teething pain, tonsillitis, vertigo, and vomiting. So then it goes on to talk about historical uses, French medicinal uses, other possible uses. So I'll read you that. Ginger may be used for alcoholism, loss of appetite, arthritis, broken bones, catarrh, so mucus, chills, colds, colic, congestion, coughs, cramps, digestive disorders, fevers, flu, impotence, indigestion, infectious diseases, memory, motion sickness, muscular aches and pains, nausea, rheumatism, sinusitis, sore throats, and sprains. It can also be used in cooking. So I would put that in a capsule because I don't love the taste of it. So, and then it has the aromatic influence. The aroma may help influence physical energy, sex, love, money, and courage. So then it talks about the VitaFlex points, which are listed in this app as well. And then it has guidance for using as a dietary supplement, what it blends well with, and safety data. So it's really got a lot of information, and it's not as detailed. So you can look down for research references at the bottom, and it does list those. So it's not as detailed as the desk reference guide, but it gives you a really great starting point, especially if you're perhaps out and about and something happens and you're like, well, what am I going to use? What have I got? So, you might have 4 oils with you, and say, for instance, it's goldenrod, right? They went to the stage where they gave away a lot of goldenrod. So goldenrod is traditionally thought of as it's a circulatory oil, right? So it is particularly helpful for men for their circulation, if we know what we're talking about. but it also helps with other things. So diphtheria, dyspepsia, hypertension, influenza, nervousness, respiratory mucus, tonsillitis, and pharyngitis. So if you go through and you sort of look at these things, I don't know why you'd have goldenrod with you out and about, because none of you have probably bought goldenrod, but it is actually great for circulation. So if you have a circulatory issue, goldenrod might be your friend. You can drink it as a tea. I can't remember what it tastes like, so I can't tell you if that's a thing, but I have used it in a body oil before. So this I find fantastic. Another, of course, there is another one here of like, putting it in the group. I've got X oil and I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing with it or why I bought it. Did someone recommend it for something? So that's another good thing to ask. We can look in the SulaChamberlain.com resources, because that is a conglomeration of everything, but it really only has the starter bundle oils. It doesn't really have, and just it's a 300-page document, but you can just search via the search function for the oil. But also you could go into the Facebook group or our other resource platform. So there are a bunch of different ways that you can find out information. That doesn't mean, as I said, that you can't ask questions here, but it just means that you're empowered if you are kind of there going, I don't know what to do with that you get using it. Because my biggest frustration with anything meta related is that these oils are so much more powerful than people realize, and they have them at home, if you're anything like me, sitting all over every room of the house, and you're not using them to benefit yourself or your family or your pets or your loved ones. But these tools are amazing. So as a hot tip, geranium was the first oil that sold out in Asia during the pandemic a few years ago. And I challenge you all to look up why, because I'm not going to give you the answer. I will. I'll come back and tell you later. Anyway, hopefully that clears things up for you a little bit. But if you don't know how to access the members resources, let me know. And I think I forgot to say it here. I tried to do another video before, but the dog barked and the phone rang and all the things. Is if you that document is updated every time we have an event on. So it's a 300-odd page document. It's tempting just to want to download it, but you'll just need to throw it out and get a new one from time to time, because every time there's an event on, it gets up, like the pages in it get updated. So it's kind of better if you don't download it, though personally I can't access it without downloading it, but it is a live document and it keeps getting changed and keeps getting better and bigger and all of the things. So that is how to learn about these things that you have at your fingertips, and then just ask questions. So if you started with, I'm going to record something on like the starter bundle oils, I also have a written thing of it. I like to read. I don't like to watch videos so much. So I have a whole bunch of documents, but a lot of people like to watch videos. So if you prefer a document, ask me and I'll send you the document. But I know that a lot of you like to watch videos to have the information that way. Also, please know every Thursday, 1 p.m., almost every Thursday, 1 p.m. is our live call. You can come, you can ask a question, you can leave, you can ask us to answer a question in the WhatsApp group. You can come in, ask a question, and then you don't have to stay for the whole call. It's not being rude. You just jump in, ask your question and leave. You can use that as a resource as well. What other things can I give to you here? So the one that I use a lot is I will put in the name of the oil and then I will look up studies related to it. Now, I know that is a particular personality. Yes, I'm a total nerd, but I love nothing more than sort of going to, please don't use Google. Use something like Brave or DuckDuckGo, or, something that's not related to Google, because you'll get less good answers, I promise you. But if you look up something like geranium essential oil and studies, you get this whole list of research that's done on it. Now, it's not all done on Young Living products. A lot of them are, like, they do a lot of research, but it starts to give you some really great information about the medicinal qualities of these oils that we get in trouble for talking about. But the reason that these are so powerful, these are the original medicines, right? Medicines come from plants usually. Thinking about some medicines that are made from soil bacteria and that were, ridiculed the last few years, but that, are graded and rated as being one of the world's most important medicines that is supposed to be on hand all of the time. So just becoming empowered to have that information at your fingertips, and knowing that, of course, we're happy to answer questions, but there's nothing like being able to know how to find the answers yourself, because that is true freedom. And that is what we want for all of you: health, wealth, and freedom. That's it for today. Bye, peeps.